All right, today we got this Uniden PC-122. If you followed any of my previous videos, you know that I'm a big fan of these radios, and this one I got off eBay for $34 untested. 34 stinking dollars. So, I mean, it's kind of dirty. It's got some adhesive there and looks like it needs to the whole face needs to be clean. The chrome is intact, but it's pretty dirty. This one, my other two that I have, these have a silver or chrome colored face here. This one's like black or gray or something. Um, but I mean, if anything, hell, $34 for a parts chassis, you can't beat that. To be able to have the whole radio for 34 bucks. So we're gonna pop the covers on this thing, take a look inside. I mean, if I shake it, I don't hear anything rattling around in there, so that's a good sign. Um, we'll take the covers off first and see what the condition looks like on the inside, and then we'll try putting some power on it and see if this thing actually works or if it's going to be a parts chassis. So stand by. All right, so here we are. We have the cover off this thing, and it looks, I'm going to hold this up here and I'm going to look underneath the camera here on my iPhone. But let me look here and see what we're looking at. Yeah, I mean, it's stock capacitors. These are all the original ones, you can tell. I don't know, maybe not that one. That's a weird color for one of these. I mean, I've got two of these PC-122s. I've got two realistic TRC 453s, two realistic TRC 465s. They're all the same radio. And I don't believe I've ever seen one come with an original black colored capacitor, but I don't know. Maybe it is original as well, or maybe somebody's been in here, but it sure doesn't look like it. I mean, everything looks completely stock. Completely stock. No spread coils down here. That's good. Doesn't look like the bias pots have been tweaked out. Yeah. It looks to be in pretty decent shape. All right, well let's turn this thing around and put some power on it. Let's see what happens. We'll start with about an amp off the power supply, just in case something goes bad. And we'll see what happens. All right, let's flip this around. Let's put move these screws out of the way. These knobs. Let's get a coax hooked up to the back of it. All right, let's put in the external speaker. All right, power. Again, hold on. Let me see. All right. Okay, we got some power into her. Let's see. Let's set this power supply down. Oh. Let's set this down to 1 amp. All right, 1 amp. That way we don't hopefully fry anything. And what kind of positions do we have for switches? Let's see. CB, PA, CB, noise blanker, and ANL will be off. I guess we can start with AM. Let's turn the radio off. Squelch. Counterclockwise. RF gain is fully clockwise. Clarifier. We'll center it up. And all right. Let's see what happens. All right, let's watch this. Let's watch this power supply over here. Oh crap! Watch, dang fingers. Let's watch the power supply while we turn it on. See what we end up drawing. Ooh, that sounded kind of about 0.2 amps. That's good. That's real good. All right. Um, so let's set this. Let's look at the LED. Yeah, LED is fully functional. Wow. Okay, let's see. How about, I don't know. Let's see. Let's put her into here, into the 8920. Let's go to, we're going to give her, so we're going to give her an S9 signal on channel 19. Well, look at that. She's showing 4 bars. That's pretty cool. All right, let's turn on the sign adder. And let's hook her up to the sign adder. All right, there we go. This is just, and this is minus 67 dB, so this is a pretty dang strong signal. All right, let's knock the signal now. Let's go right to 1 microvolt. So that'd be minus 107 dB. I got a cold right now, sorry. All right, so what do we got? So she's holding about, looks like 17 dB of synad at 1 microvolt. That's pretty dang good. Wow, man. $34. All right, how about minus 110? Still looking good at minus 110. Actually looks a little stronger. That's weird. Well, minus 115. All right, maybe I didn't press the buttons right here. Let's see, minus 110. Yeah, I must have hit minus 10 or something. All right, so at minus 110, she's at about 13, 14 dB of synad. This is AM, mind you. All right, minus 112. She's right about 12 dB of synad. That's respectable. All right, how about minus 107 again, which is 1 microvolt. We're going to put her into lower side band. 27.1840. All right, let's put her in the lower side band. Let's move the clarifier. All right, so she's almost 18 dB of synad at 1 microvolt on lower sideband. Where's our clarifier at? A little bit over to the left. Huh. All right, that's not bad. How about say minus 110 again? Oh crap. All right, minus 110. Minus 115. Still holding pretty decent. 17 maybe. 120. 14 dB. Minus 125. 10 dB at minus 125. It's not bad. All right. So cool. So she's working pretty good on the receiver. $34. Gotta love it when you find somebody that sells something that cheap on eBay. I think it was $34 plus like $13 or $15 shipping. I can't remember. All right. How about transmit? Let's see. Let's put a mic adapter into her here. And let's put her into here. Into my sampler. All right, so what do we set up for over there? Two-tone test. All right, two-tone test on lower side, man. Let's look at her waveform. Oh, hold on. Let's turn our power back up. Otherwise, we're just going to chatter the heck out of this power supply. Okay, so we're at 5 amps. Let's look at the sideband waveform. All right, she's keyed up. Oh, hold on. Let's actually give her something to work with. How about that? There we go. Ah, that's not bad. Looks like it's overdriven a little bit. Yeah, power-wise, she's running about, let's see, that's the middle scale, or 20-watt scale. Yeah, so she's at about 7 or 8 watts average. So she's definitely been jacked up on power. That's all right. Hopefully just an adjustment. All right, let's set this. Let's look at AM. All right, let's put her into AM. All right, let's just dead key her first and look at her power. Let's see. Go back to the 5-watt scale over there. Let's see what she looks like. All right, here comes a dead key. All right, so she's running just over 3 watts dead key. All right, let's see what her waveform looks like on AM. Oh, not bad. I don't know why they would have went in there and jacked up sideband power and not screwed with the modulation pot for AM. That's kind of surprising. Usually they would go in there and jack up both, or mod the modulation limiter circuits. So yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, how does she sound? I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's let me think here. I want to do this. What do I want to do? All right, let's do this. Let's see what she's doing as far as frequency. All right, let's turn that off there. All right, we're in AM channel 19. So let's see how far off frequency she is. So we're just going to dead key there. And she is about 60 hertz off on AM. That's not bad. Nobody would ever notice that. All right, well, how about lower sideband? Let's see what she's doing frequency-wise on lower sideband. 27,184. Oh, she's pretty far off on lower sideband. 200 hertz. I wonder what that sounds like. All right, how about upper? All right, here's upper. A little closer on upper. Only about 80 hertz off there. All right, how about we listen to that? Let's see. Let's put this monitor radio. Been listening to a bunch of 10 meter lately. Let me go back to. All right, let's see. Let's put it on 19 here. And let me find a mic. No, that's a wrong one. Hold on, let me see. Here we go. I got one. Got a Galaxy mic, 4-pin here. All right, Galaxy 4-pin mic. Let's turn this off. I don't need that on anymore. Okay, let's see what we can see on AM. Hello, check, check. Okay, I can hear that. Let me turn the power or the volume up. AM. Hello, check, check. 1, 2. Oh, I'm in upper sideband. Hold on. There we go. Hello, check, check. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check. 1, 2. All right, sounds good on AM. All right, let's go to upper. So she was 80 hertz off on upper, or she is 80 hertz off on upper. Hello, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't sound too bad. Let's see. Go to lower now. Okay, here's lower. Hello, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 1, 2. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh yeah, she's way off on lower. At 200 and something hertz ain't working well for you. All right. Looks like they're all easy adjustments. Heck, man, let's get to recapping this thing. 34 bucks. Can't beat that. $34. I love it when people are trying to get rid of stuff cheap. They don't realize what they're sitting on. I mean, this chassis, same chassis in the TRC 465s and the TRC 453s, and I believe the old Cobra 140s are the same. This is all the same radio. And these are fantastic sideband chassis. They are so stable. They are so freaking stable on sideband. Amazing radios. So yeah, I mean, to see something like this pop up on eBay, I mean, geez, can't pass that up. All right, so we'll go ahead and recap this thing, and then we'll go ahead and align it. Check the driver and final bias for sure. I know that the output power on sideband has been put up. Looks like output power on AM has been dropped down, and she's, we'll be, see, 60 hertz off on AM. She's about 80 hertz off on sideband. She's what is she? 200 and something, 240 something off on lower sideband. All easy adjustments. You know what? What we didn't look at. Let's do this. I'm just gonna. Well, let me pull this. Let me put this mic adapter back in here. Something. Here's a quick check to kind of see how well your VCO circuit. See if anybody's really gotten there and screwed with that. I didn't notice when I had the cover off if somebody had ever pulled the glue out of the VCO pot. But look, so let's look at her power again on channel 19 AM, just dead key, and she is at just over 3 watts. Let's move this down to channel 1 and see what kind of power out we got. About the same. 40. About the same. Okay, cool. So it doesn't look like anybody's gotten there and really screwed with the VCO circuit. Yeah, should be easy adjustments. So we'll go ahead and get it. We'll go ahead and recap it, and then we'll realign it, and then go from there. All right, we'll be back. All right, folks, we're back, and we got this radio completely recapped here, so that's good. Didn't run any really issues. Here's all old caps here. So that's all done. We're going to go ahead, and we got the book out here. We're going to start our alignment procedure, and then when I get done with that, we're listening to a little bit of 10 meter skip over here on the IFR 1200. So we're on 283650 there. Yeah, these IFR 1200s and 8920s are great receivers for ham radio. I mean, if you want to listen to pretty much anything, you can on one of these. It's pretty cool. Okay, so anyway, we'll go ahead and get this thing aligned, and then we'll take a look at it after the fact. So we'll be back here in a little bit. All right, so I just wanted to show this. Yeah, this thing really, I think, other than jacking up the power on the single sideband output, it really probably hasn't really been messed with at all in here. So we're just looking at bias. So this is the driver bias here. I'm going to show you. Look over here. So we're at 67 milliamps there, and it's supposed to be 65. So yeah, this thing really just is a virgin radio for the most part, other than jacked up sideband power. So all right, we'll go ahead and get it all done, and then we'll come back and look at some of the things that we noticed before. All right, we'll be back. All right, so I'm going to show you a way that how I align sideband receive, and this is not anything that I came up with on my own. So I don't want you to think that I'm like some genius or anything, because I'm not. I just got this procedure out of a Galaxy service manual, and I'll tell you what, it works like a champ for all radios. So right now we've got our clarifier centered there. If you remember, we were pretty far off center as far as sideband receive was. So what I do is I use my IFR 1200 here, and I have the RF generator right now at 27.18400. So that's 19 lower sideband, and I'm going to, it's about 90 dB. is what I have it set to. And what I do is I use the 1 kilohertz tone that's internal to the IFR 1200 here, and I generate my output signal, but no modulation. So that's key here, no modulation. So what I'm going to go ahead and set it up. So there's my internal 1 kilohertz tone there. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my output. Now you hear that. You hear how those two tones are different. So now what I do is I just go in here and I'll make my adjustment until the two tones beat as one. And it's really easy because, you know, this tone's over here in my right ear and this one's up. I got the output from here, the speaker output, going to the sine adder right now, and it's in my left ear. So it makes it pretty easy. Now, here, watch. So I'll go ahead and make this adjustment. That's pretty close right there. Yeah, so that's what I do for some. Now, it's key though. Let me turn this down. It's key. You don't use any modulation out from the your signal generator. That's an unmodulated RF output, just on frequency. So yeah, just wanted to show that, and that's out of a Galaxy service manual, doing it like that. And it what the Galaxy service manual was trying to do was just do a SINAD test. They were doing, or alignment for SINAD for I'm sorry, receiver sensitivity. So you did this procedure right here, not to align the receive as far as your centering your clarifier. They were doing it for just overall receive sensitivity. But I just was like, hey, you know, I could do that, use that procedure to more easily, instead of doing it by free counter, which there's no reason not to do it like that. I just had started doing this a long time ago because it's just easier, and it's also a audible cue that you're actually where you need to be at. So yeah, I do that for upper and lower sideband. And here we'll go ahead and do it for upper real quick. So let me just set this. Let me set this up for upper. All right, so I'm going to turn my tone on and turn this volume up. Remember, unmodulated output here. I'll go ahead and set this now for upper. You hear the difference in the tones? And we'll go ahead and make our adjustment. There's pretty close right there. And that's it. Shut that off. Yeah. So that's it. So you know, you could do that with you mean, obviously you don't have to have a communications test set to do the same thing. You could use, you know, any RF signal generator. You can use something like this, something like that. You know, an old Marconi. I mean, you can use whatever you want to do it. You just, you know, no modulation output, no modulated 1 kilohertz tone out. So you set your frequency. So right now we're at, you know, channel 19 upper sideband there, 27.18600. 90 dB seems to work the best. It's not an overpowering signal coming into the radio. So I get a decent output to, you know, whatever speaker I'm using. And I can more easily tell the difference between the two tones that way. But yeah, I just wanted to show that. So we'll go ahead and get back to the alignment, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so if you remember, we were pretty far off frequency as far as sideband, lower sideband, and AM was pretty far off too. The upper sideband was the closest, so we went ahead and made this has been warmed up now for about 25 minutes, I guess, power on. So I went ahead and started adjusting frequencies for transmit. So here we go. Here's our free counter, and we're going to look at just AM. So there we are within 3 hertz. I'm fine with that. And then we'll go ahead and do, let's see, here's lower. Look at lower. So remember, we were about 200 something hertz off on lower. Now we're within 3 hertz, 1 hertz. That's fine. And then here's upper. Yeah. So 4, 5 hertz. That's fine. So yeah, so she's on frequency now. Receive sensitivity is still stellar. We won't look at that again. Let me set up and I'll show you just what her sideband linearity looks like. Again, we need to make that ALC adjustment. So I'm going to set up for that, and then we'll be right back. So stick around. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at sideband linearity and output power. So here's our scope. So we got a 2-tone test generating. She looks really nice. And let's look at her as far as output power. Let's see if we can do this here. So you have about set to about 11 watts peak. So we're looking at the red scale in the middle. So yeah, she's right about 11 watts peak. And she'll run good that way. I think that's about all. I mean, you saw the AM waveform earlier, and nothing's really changed about that. Oh, you know what I do got to do? I got to change the output power. Let's do that real quick. Let's go back in AM, turn off this tone, and let's set our AM power output. Let's see, what were we dealing with here? Oh, let me put this back to 5 watts. So we're still at that same 3.5 watts. Let me make an adjustment to that real quick. There we go. All right. So that's done. And yeah, I'd say she's about done. We'll go ahead and probably put the covers back on here in a little bit. I'll go back through. I need to check squelch, noise blanker, and A&L. And I think that's really about it. Like I said, receive sensitivity hasn't changed. I won't bore you with going through that all again. And our AM waveform presentation hasn't changed. I mean, we could look at, here, let's do this real quick. Let's put this into here. Let's go to, I'm going to set this up real quick for there. We're going to look at the spectrum analyzer here. All right, so we got this set up for 3 channels wide. And we'll go ahead and, let's see, hold on. Let me change. Okay, so we're going to let's dead key first. See where she's sitting at. She should, oh, we're not in AM, are we? Yeah, we're in AM. Where am I? There we go. Okay, so this 8920 is running off of an external GPS oscillator, and you see she knows what 27.185 is, and you see that as dead balls on the center there. So that's our dead key. Let's go ahead and add some modulation. So there's our modulation, and she is super clean. So this is 3 channels wide, and she is right on channel, and she is super clean. Yep, cool. So yeah, I think that's about it. We'll go ahead and let me finish up these last few items on the alignment, and then I'll button it up, put the covers back on it, and we'll see if we can hear any skip on it. So we'll be back. All right, so hopefully you could hear that okay. Um, yeah, so she is she's done. She's all aligned, and I need to get the screws back in there yet. But yeah, she's working really well. And yeah, $34. You can't pass that up. Try to buy a brand new sideband CD radio today for $34. It just took a couple hours of 2-3 hours of time to recap it. And truth be told, did it really need recapped? I mean, could have went another 10 years before it ended up one dried out and shorted out or leaked or whatever. But I just go ahead and do it when I get them in. It's like one of the first things I do. So yeah, and I hope you found it interesting as far as the way that I did that alignment for sideband receive as far as the clarifier is concerned. Yeah, like I said, hold on. I bumped that clarifier. Yeah, so you see how that works. I mean, she's dead center. Yeah, she's dead center now, and yeah, it's a really cool, easy way if you have an RF signal generator and a 1 kilohertz tone to align sideband receive, get it on frequency, and get it perfect. So yeah, so 73s everybody, and we'll see you next time.